I have fucking idiots contact me constantly. This is true. I'm gonna be very clear. If you are serious about getting your dog trained, you would do that through email. All right, that's what normal people do. But I have people that will ask dog training questions underneath videos. Like, I'm supposed to answer their questions. I have shit to do and I have clients. You know, it's absurd. I don't even know if these people have a dog. This is the truth. I don't know if they're even who they say they are. So why am I going to waste my time with you? It's absurd. I had some woman, I guess it's a woman, saying that she had PTSD yesterday and that she wanted to train her dog that's E-collar condition to be a service dog for somebody with PTSD. And she said that, this is what she told me. She said that it would be cheaper than doing therapy. One thing isn't going to fix the other. Okay, so if you're thinking that getting a service dog for your PTSD is going to help your PTSD, you're an idiot. Okay? You need to go to the shrink. Right? So, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be cheaper. It's like, listen, you need an emotional support dog. Is that what you want? Because I'll tell you something about emotional support dogs. Those are dogs generally that people just say it's an emotional support dog so that they can take it wherever they want to go. It's a service dog, okay? This person, I swear to God, she had a whole list of things that she thought that the dog was going to do, like the dog was going to cure her. No, you go back to the fucking doctor, and if you're having so many issues that you wake up at night, she said that she wakes up at night and chewing on her fingers or something. I'm like, well, maybe you better up your meds, you know? No, she wants to bother the dog trainer. And since I told her to up her meds and go back to the shrink, that'd be a better approach, then all of a sudden, tons of emails from this broad on every social media account I have. You know, it's clearly that the person does have mental issues, you know? That's when you get the police involved. Now listen, if you want your dog trained, you don't ask for pricing underneath the video. Wouldn't it just make sense? This is another idiot. Yesterday it was like, what's pricing on a board and train? Like, Google. You ever heard of Google? You know? I mean, it's just constant shit. So, the guy that's asking for pricing with a board and train, I don't even know if he has a dog. People just want you to write something. Oh, look, I made him write something. It's absurd. That's called being an asshole. Anybody that has a problem with their dog, I had some guy, this happened many times. It's a dog that's aggressive. And they're trying to ask for help underneath a video. Like, help me, my dog is aggressive. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're really unrealistic. That's what it is. The person's totally unrealistic. They have an aggressive dog and they want the problem solved in a simple sentence. You know? It's sad. It's sad that people just don't get it and are just totally lost. I can't tell you how many times I'm contacted weekly with this nonsense. I'm contacted monthly by somebody that is like the person that did all the emails, like somebody that's ill. The police know me at this point, like, okay, who is it? What's the email address? Shit like that. It's absurd. That started way back when the fucktard bothered me, so now there's like law enforcement that work with me on this. So I guess what I'm trying to say this is if you see this and you think that you should be writing some kind of question about your hypothetical dog, don't, because I don't even know that you have a dog or even know you, and you're not a client. You just look like a crazy person, okay? Just another crazy person. Whether that person from last night or whatever has PTSD, it doesn't matter. She's clearly out of her fucking mind. She is. She's out of her mind. Don't ask questions. You just look like an asshole. Don't go to any other dog trainers and ask questions. That's not going to get anything accomplished. You have problems with your dog, you got to do a one-on-one with the dog trainer. Board and train is actually how we get the most success. All right? Don't waste your time writing any dog training questions because you just look like an asshole. And if you do, listen, this is the truth. I'm going to be straight up here. If you do have PTSD, your dog isn't going to get rid of it for you, okay? That's talk therapy. You need to talk to your fucking shrink. If your medications are not working, contact your doctor and get your meds up. They're changed. But you don't think that a dog, emotional support dog, is going to cure your PTSD. That's not the way it works. With Miko. Miko's going back into the city. She just did place between the legs real good. I'll have her do it on the train too. It's hot. It's real hot. Check out Miko. Place between legs on the subway. If you're standing, it's very helpful. It's helpful no matter what. Teach your dog how to do this. Miko's doing real good on the train. See that? That is vomit on the floor. Lots of fucking tourists, meaning lots of assholes are in this town. And I just want to scream, get the fuck out of my fucking way, you know? Why would you come here? What's there to see? A bunch of big buildings? Don't get it. I just saw my old roommate, Becca, also known as Bucky Fucky Bamcock. Figures she would live down here. I saw her with her kid. I said, Becca, she started looking around. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna say, what's up? It was her though. Same walk, it was her. You know, it was weird. She probably married some rich dude. So that's a guess. I left my cane at Miko's house. I'm not going back to get it. Fuck it. You know? My leg is killing me though. Jesus, this town. It's a lot different than Beaver Dams, I will say that. You know.
Yeah, trim the leg. Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, and I think some of you might. It's crazy. Dying to get back and see what happened in the news. Start packing my shit. You know, big Manafort trial. He hasn't even been indicted yet for any of the campaign shit. No one really has, you know? Like, you think Jared's gonna be indicted? I do. I'd bet on it. Who else? Anybody that was in that campaign. Ooh, we don't know. Kellyanne Conway? Ivanka? I'd like to see her in a prison jumpsuit. Think she could pull it off? She could, except after a certain amount of time, I'm guessing her hair is dyed. You know, she must color her hair. She probably has a $2,000 haircut and shit. So she would look different. It would be funny. It would. I'm not wishing ill upon anyone. I just, you know, I'm just saying hypothetically, if that happened, which it might not. Man, this fucking shitty sushi place, I wanted to get sushi, but there's a fucking line, you know? Oh, damn it. I'm gonna get this, but I think I need more. Need some more Bigfoot meat or Sasquatch blood. Hip's killing me. I'll tell you one thing, Miko's got one of the slickest looking apartments of any of my clients. He's got a De Chirico in there, you know. He's got quite the art collection, you know. It's like on the 50th floor or something. It's pretty impressive. A couple things. One, if you have any type of retrieving dog, look, dogs don't need vests to swim. They don't need life vests. That looks so fucking ridiculous. That is fucking annoying. You know, seeing like a golden or a lab with a fucking, you know, life vest on. All dogs can swim. Bulldogs can swim. And the other thing that I wanted to say is $15,000 for an ostrich jacket isn't that outrageous. It isn't. I have friends that make purses, and the purses are, you know, shown in museums and shit, and I think that they were pricing their purses at like, this was 6 years ago or something, about $45,000 a piece. So $15,000 for a custom ostrich jacket, that doesn't seem like that much. Okay, now with that said, I want to give an update about Pharaoh. Pharaoh's doing great. Got a text from his mom today. She had him in the crate for about 5 hours and then took him out, and then he goes back into the crate. That's very important. If you have a separation anxiety dog, that they won't get better unless you can get him to stay in the crate. So I got him to the point where he'd stay in a crate, and he was doing 9 hours at night for me, letting me sleep. It was awesome, but each time you move him, you sort of regress and then go forward again. But now it looks like she's in that period. It's been, you know, whatever, 4 days or whatever, however long it's been, I'm not sure. It's all like a dream. But she's going forward and everything's going great. I love seeing this. I love seeing this. It's awesome. He's such a cute little dog. Some of the separation anxiety dogs are real extreme. That was him. He would throw up in the crate. It creates a bigger problem. If you have a dog like that, you should contact a professional, because, you know, a dog dehydrates itself worse throwing up than like with diarrhea. So if your dog's throwing up, that's a problem. So in his case, it was like, you know, me like running this line of like making sure he had enough water, but not so much water he would throw it up. He was eating, but not so much he would throw up. Do you understand? It's very difficult while I'm also trying to get him calm and relaxed in the crate. It's a lot. There's no reason that you need to put the dog down. All dogs can get better at this, and there is absolutely no reason that if you have one of these dogs with severe separation anxiety, medication didn't work for him. It didn't. It made matters worse. It's not going to help. That's not fixing the problem by giving it human medication like an SSRI. That doesn't help. It's behavioral. The dog needs to go to a trainer. It needs to go to a trainer until it's getting better. Okay, so if the trainer says the dog needs to stay a little bit longer, do it. That's what we did with Pharaoh. He stayed longer. I really didn't know until I started working with him like what the extent was. Teaching him to do hold, drop, and retrieve, and sit, and all that stuff that the other trainers couldn't get him to do, that was a piece of cake. It's a separation anxiety because it really is about being consistent over a period of time. So stay on target. You know, if your dog's hurting himself in the crate, you gotta contact somebody, unless you just don't want to spend the money and you're gonna put the dog down. Then you never should have got the dog in the first place. Seriously. You never should have got the dog in the first place. You sign a contract with that dog, with any pet. Love is not enough for your pet. For a dog, come on, they don't even understand. Come on, it's a dog. They like you a lot. Love is a complex human emotion. That's just how it is. If you're inclined to believe that I'm incorrect and you have a dog with separation anxiety, you need to start rethinking things and stop putting your human experiences on something that's non-human. So if you sit there like, and I try and tell Luna not to be worried or anything, I'll make her worried, man. Don't do that. Don't use a pleasing tone if the dog is acting fearful or any type of, if you're doing that, it's a pleasing tone. If the dog is shaking and you're saying, oh, it'll be all right, you're going to train the dog to keep shaking. They have to learn no. If you don't use no with your dog, your separation anxiety dog will not get better. I seriously, when I heard this deal about the $15,000 ostrich jacket, I was just like, yeah, so? And then they talked about a $20,000 watch. Come on, how much is a Rolex? Isn't that what they cost? That's not much. I mean, it is for me, I can't afford it, but there's a lot of people that'll be like, are you kidding me? Lots of chicks buy expensive dresses all the time, 15 grand for, custom leather ostrich coat. If somebody wants to buy me one of those and send it to me, I'd take it. It'd be pretty awesome. Sounds great. It's not these single items, it's just how many he had. So I think in one like a year and a half or something, he spent $1 million on suits. It's insanity. I mean, how many suits do you really can you wear? Even if you have one for every 2 weeks or whatever, that doesn't add up to $1 million. Makes no sense, Obviously, that's not the issue. The issue is that he wasn't paying taxes and hiding the money. He's in big trouble, so is Trump. Hey, sit. Oh, real quick. Now, Luna has had a habit of licking my hand. She's never been a dog that was mouthy with my hand. But if she was, I would have taken the same approach, which is when she was trying to lick me, I go like, no, no. And if my hand was going down, if my hand's coming down here, I knew that she had a tendency to do this. I was ready and my timing was right on. So right when her tongue would hit my hand, I'd say no. All right? If you have a collar set on the lowest setting, and this dog, these Garmin collars are a little hot, okay? I'm just gonna tell you, it's not like the Mini Educator. The Mini Educator from 1 to 15, you can't really feel. This thing I was feeling at 1. But this is a terrier type of dog. They're sort of like, a lot of times they're sort of like higher as far as e-collars go. So 1, the lowest setting, it was okay a few times. Like I caught her. There, she's doing it, I just did it, right? She just licked my arm and I caught her. You catch the dog in a low setting doing that, they're going for the salt in your skin. You do that a few times, catch her right when her tongue's hitting your skin, make sure it's on the lowest setting, then just quit doing it. Just quit doing it. Don't do this on a high setting, though. I'm talking about if you're going to do this, and don't do it much. Just do it a couple times right when their tongue hits your skin. Now, with that said, I've talked about something similar, and I've talked about using the collar higher up, and that's like, say your dog goes for chicken bones on the street. I'll take a Mini Educator and say the working range is about 10 to 15. I'll dial up the collar into like the low 20s. When the dog puts its tongue right on the chicken bones on the street, that's when you stimulate and you use the continuous button, holding it down, making sure that they don't swallow the chicken bones, and they can't. If they are, you're not doing it high enough. You might have to, turn up the collar a bit. But they'll start like moving their tongue and spitting it out. Similar, but like with this, I use like a much lower. It's much lower. But with chicken bones and stuff like that, usually these dogs have been doing it a long time. It's ingrained. So I'll do it higher up for a while. Do you understand? Like, she's never eaten food off the street. She's not going to start doing this. She's only going to see raw diet as something that she should eat. It's not an issue. So I don't have to go get fried chicken and put it on the street and do this. But with some dogs that do this, they come here and I want to make sure that they're not going to do that anymore. I will raise the collar up a bit. I'm using it higher than if I'm using it if I'm just, don't do that. What a nut. She's licking the leash now. I could do it the same way with the leash. If I catch her licking the leash, I could stimulate right when her tongue hits it. It makes it taste bad to the dog. I'm telling you, that's how it works. It's like if you're using a healing stick with the dog, this is true. You can do the same thing with an e-collar. And a healing stick is a long, bendable stick to help teach some dogs to learn to heel, and you can bounce it off their chest. If you bounce it off their chest while hitting a low stimulation, do you understand? The dog starts seeing the stick as being something, you know, that's causing that stimulation, that annoyance. You want to think of using the e-collar to create an annoyance. It's not about creating pain, okay? A lot of people are confused about this. You want to use it on the lowest settings. Keep it low, man. Don't start dialing it up and thinking that that's going to be better. That makes it worse. That makes it so much worse. And one other thing while we're on the subject of an e-collar, if your dog is excited with the dog on the street, okay, it's leash reactive. That constitutes a collar correction and holding your leash proper, and you must learn how to do this, okay? It does not have anything to do with putting an e-collar on the, hey, come here, sit. Putting an e-collar on the dog and zapping it when it does that. It will get worse. You're gonna have to trust me on this. That will make matters worse. Do not do that under any circumstances. Your dog is leash reactive. Don't strap an e-collar on it thinking that that's gonna help. That's gonna make it so much worse. If any dog trainer's telling you to do that, it's bullshit. If your dog is e-collar conditioned though, and your dog's popping out a sit, as long as it's not going ape shit about the dog, then you could correct it for coming out of sit or popping out of heel. That's different. All right? Luna, hey. Quit. Look at Luna. I gave her a bath yesterday. She's like a little freak. Look at her. Look at Luna. Her hair is crazy looking if you start combing it out. It's like it's like, this dog in the wind, this is no shit. If there's a real high wind, I'll try and get a video of her upstate in Beaver Dams. We're going up there, we're gonna take her swimming and shit. But this dog in the wind, this breed is absolutely gorgeous. Her hair is still growing. You know, you can get it real long, and I'm telling you, just like fucking amazing. It's an amazing it's an amazing dog. This is an amazing dog, and it is an amazing breed. I'm gonna try and get her to do some water retrieves, catch a frisbee. She's doing real good on everything. Even, hey, Luna, do I have butter on my hand? No, she smelled it, but see, she's not going for it. If she did, I would get her. And you're like, well, the dog's not gonna like you. What, this dog? Come on. This dog likes me just fine. Look at her hair. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't overdo this though. Just get the dog to quit. And when you're doing it, make sure and say no. And what I'm saying is, like, what means more to the dog if the dog is doing this, like licking you, is the leash correction like that, right? That sort of means more. I'm not saying that when I do, say, here's the example. She's coming out of the crate, right? And I have to put this on her, okay? This is not on her yet. I have this set on low. So a few times that I was going down there, she tried it. I'm putting the snap on the thing. She went for my hand. That's when I used it. Do you understand? Do it once, twice, 3 times. They just start picking it up. Don't overuse this. Don't use this high for this. I hope that all makes sense, you know. This is not a panacea. There's no substitution for dog training. This is just one more tool that you can use in dog training. And the lower the setting, the better. That's the way it's got to be.